Hi all, welcome to this video on operational amplifiers. In the previous video, we have seen an operational amplifier circuit which can perform the mathematical operation of integration. In this video, we are going to learn how you can make an operational amplifier to perform differentiation. That is, you can differentiate a signal that is given to the input of an op amp and you get the differentiated signal as the output. So let us see the circuit. Now this is the circuit that I am referring to. So this circuit is called op-amp differentiator, where you can see that in the previous case you had the capacitor here and the resistance here, but in this case you are having the resistance here in the feedback path and capacitor at the input side of this. So this will perform the operation of differentiation. Let us see by applying the virtual ground condition and all. So here also you can see that the virtual ground is connected to virtually to the actual ground by the action of the operational amplifier, and the feedback is done through this resistance. There is a capacitor here. So let us see what is the output current that is coming from the VI that is flowing through the capacitor and all. So that capacitor current is again defined by this equation. I is equal to C dV by dt, and here your I is II and this is IF, that is a feedback current IF, and the voltage at this point V2, that is equal to 0, V2 is equal to 0 because of the virtual ground condition. And our II in this case is defined like C d by dt of Vi minus V2. Vi minus V2. V2 is 0. Now let's come to the virtual ground condition, where you can sum up the currents and you can write II is equal to IF. And when you substitute for II from this equation, then it is C dVi by dt is equal to IF. What is IF? IF is the voltage difference divided by resistance. So it is V2 minus VO divided by the resistance in the feedback. So this will be dVi by dt, which is equal to minus VO by R. Why minus VO? Because V2 is 0. And now what is VO? VO is given by taking all those factors to the other side, then you get. And now you can see this is a differentiator, and you can see that the voltage at the input is differentiated and multiplied by a scaling factor. Okay, so this one is a scaling factor, and it is also an inverted kind of a differentiation. That is why there is a negative sign here. Obviously because of the fact that you are giving the input to the inverting input. Okay. You can improve the circuit by connecting a series resistance here at the input side just before the capacitor. Now let us see what is happening here. Suppose if there is this capacitance only and there is no resistance here, then what happens is that at very high frequency signals, this capacitor will act as a short circuit, so the signals can easily pass through. That means the capacitive reactance is much smaller. So the capacitive reactance, if in the absence of this resistance, this side has a capacitive reactance only. So the ratio of this impedance to this impedance will be much high. That means your inverting amplifier will be having something like an open loop gain, also something which has very high gain for high frequency signals. And as a result, if there are high frequency noises, and those noises will be affecting your output very much significantly. So in order to reduce the high frequency noises, you need to tackle the high frequency problem using a series resistance, and that is why this resistance is here. So at low frequencies, it will be acting as an integrator, the differentiator, and this capacitance, capacitive reactance is sufficient for acting as a differentiator. And at high frequencies, the capacitive reactance will go very, very low, and at those times, our Ri will come to a rescue. That is by putting a ratio R by Ri and helping us to reduce the gain of the high frequency signals or high frequency noises. So that is how we can improve the high frequency noise and stability of the output of the entire differentiator system. So when you are applying this operational amplifier with a signal like a triangular wave, this is minus 80, and this equation, the equation for this portion is plus 80, followed by minus 80, then followed by plus 80, like that. So it goes on like that. So when you differentiate the signal, then what you will be getting is a signal like this. This is plus A, this is minus A, this is plus A, this is minus A. Your output is VO is equal to minus RC dVi by dt. So I am writing out VO is equal to minus RC dVi by dt. Okay. So I am substituting it. What is VI? VI is minus 80 in this case. So for the negative slope, that is VO negative, I will write it as VO negative. Then you will be getting minus RC, and what is dVi by dt? D by dt of minus AT. So that is minus plus minus, minus times minus is plus ARC dt by dt. Dt by dt is 1. So it is just ARC. So this is a constant. Okay. ARC, this is minus ARC, this is ARC, and this is minus ARC. This thing is a constant. Similarly, for the VO plus condition, VO plus, then what happens here is you get the positive peak and negative peak of your output square wave like this, ARC and minus ARC. Then the positive peak corresponds to the negative slope. The negative peak corresponds to the positive slope, just because of the fact that you are giving the input to the inverting terminal. So there is an inversion in between the input and output signals. Okay. So when you differentiate this again, what happens here is that you will be getting a signal only for the rising time and the falling time. That is because dy dt gives a signal when there is a change in the signal. So here there is no change in the signal. So for these portions where you have your function value as A times RC and minus A times RC, they are constants. But the signal varies only during the rising time and the falling time. Here also there is a rising time, here also there is a falling time. So corresponding to the rising time, there will be a negative pulse because of the inversion. It is negative. So there will be a positive pulse corresponding to the falling time, and there will be a negative pulse corresponding to the rising time, and there will be a positive pulse corresponding to the falling time. It alternates like this. So this is how you can generate a square wave from a triangular wave, or you can generate a spike waveform from a square wave. So when you double differentiate a triangular wave, you get a spike wave. Or when you integrate your spike wave twice, then you get a triangular wave. So like that. So this is the essence of op-amp differentiator. This is a very important circuit which can be used to perform analog computations. In the previous era, we were using this kind of circuits to perform analog computations instead of digital computers and all. So this is the importance of it. So with this, we will be stopping the discussions on analog computation circuits using operational amplifiers, and we will see another new topic about operational amplifiers in the next video. So thank you all.